Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me today for this invigorating flow. I think now more than ever is a really wonderful time to tap into our practice as an invaluable tool for riding the waves of uncertainty, unpredictability, and just really embracing the unknown as we move through uncharted territory. And so as you move through practice with me at whatever time you're choosing to do this, I invite you to let go of that sense of guessing what's coming up next or trying to anticipate it. Let go of that sense of feeling like things should go a certain way. And just see what you can learn through unexpected transitions, things that fall out of patterns that you normally inhabit, and see where that can take you. I invite you to start in a comfortable seated position. If it feels safe for you, allowing the eyes to close. Just tap into your breath. Feeling your deep inhale drop in through the nostrils, lifting the chest, expanding the ribs, allowing the low belly to rise, and when you're ready to exhale, exhaling fully. And just allow this breath to flow at a rhythm that feels natural for you. Allowing it to lengthen, allowing it to deepen, and allowing that elongated breath to let you really drop into yourself. Keeping the breath flowing here. Maybe you place one hand over your heart, one hand over the low belly. Take a deep, full inhale. And exhale with a sigh. Allowing the hands to lower to the thighs, to the knees. Beginning to find your Ujjayi breath. Inhale like a gentle snore. Exhale like the breath you'd fog up a mirror. Allow this to guide you through your practice today. Taking one more deep breath in. One more full exhale, just noticing where you notice. And then knowing as we move through practice, as always, everything I offer is an offering, an invitation. So feeling free to take rest whenever feels appropriate for you. If you're ready to move on, I'll invite you to come into a tabletop shape, so shifting into hands and knees. Shoulders stacking over wrists, hips over knees. Feel your spine long here, and for a moment, feel the heels of your hands drawing toward the knees, and feel how that can fire up the low belly. And then press the heels of the hands toward the top edge of the mat. Feel as though you're pressing your knees toward the back edge of the mat, and just notice where you feel activation. And then just move through that again. Inhale, heels of the hands pull toward knees. Notice where you feel activation, maybe in the low belly. On your exhale, press the hands toward the top edge of the mat, knees toward bottom edge of the mat. Notice where you're activating. Once more, inhale. Heels of the hands draw toward the knees. Exhale, pressing away as though you're trying to tear apart your mat on the narrow edge. And then settling into stillness. As you inhale, your tailbone floats up, your belly drops down, your chest lifts, your gaze lifts, coming through your cow shape pose. On your exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, tuck the chin for your cat. Move through a few rounds of your cat and cow here, matching movement with your breath. Slowing it down so you can feel as though you could feel each vertebrae moving individually. Just inviting gentle movement throughout the spine. And the next time you exhale, Your next inhale brings you back into a tabletop shape. Feel your spine long, tailbone toward the toes, top of the head toward the top edge of the mat. On your exhale, bring the left ear toward the left hip, feeling the spine curving over toward the left. On your inhale, come through center. Your exhale brings the right ear toward the right hip. Breathing space into the left side of the body. Moving through a few rounds here. Inhale brings you back through center. Exhale, left ear toward left hip. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, right ear toward right hip. And inhale, back through center. Once more, exhaling, left ear toward left hip. Feel length from the hip toward the underarm. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, right ear toward right hip. Your inhale brings you back through center and pause. Your inhale brings the left fingertips up toward the ceiling, feeling the chest open wide. Maybe you look up toward that top hand. On your exhale, slide the left arm under the right. Coming to rest for a moment here, threading the needle. Maybe your right hand stays beneath the shoulder. Maybe you begin to walk it forward. Maybe you inhale, swing the arm up and around, taking a hold of the front of the left thigh. Steer both hips toward the wall behind you evenly. Your next inhale brings the right hand back beneath the right shoulder if it's traveled. Press to lift the left fingertips up toward the ceiling, opening up. And your exhale lowers the left hand toward the floor and pause. Just notice the difference from the side you've twisted toward and the side you haven't. Your inhale lifts your right fingertip up toward the ceiling. And your exhale slides the right arm underneath the left, coming to rest on the right shoulder here. Take whatever variation feels good on this side. Maybe you inhale, lifting the left fingertips up. Maybe you wrap around, taking a hold of the front of the right hip. Maybe you walk the left fingertips out in front of you. What feels good here? Notice if that right hip skewed forward, just guide it back toward the wall behind you. Enjoying the stretch. Your next inhale brings the left hand back beneath the shoulder, the left shoulder if it's traveled. Press to lift, right fingertips back up toward the ceiling, feeling all that space. Exhale, right hand comes down. Tucking your toes, hands beneath the shoulders. On your next exhale, float the hips up and back, coming through your first downward facing dog of this practice. And take whatever movements feel good and allow you to settle into the shape, maybe pedaling up the heels, swaying the hips side to side. Just let your body guide you, discovering space in this shape. And then settling into your downward facing dog. Feeling the heels releasing toward the floor. Feel the insides of the elbows spinning toward the top of the ceiling. Feeling the energy from the press of your fingertips in the mat, floating the hips up toward the wall behind you. On your next inhale, lift onto the balls of the feet, look between the hands, take a slow walk toward the top of your mat. And as you arrive there, as big a bend in the knees as you need to invite the front body toward the thighs, coming into a ragdoll shape. You can hold onto opposite elbows here, interlace fingers at the base of the skull, maybe you sway side to side. And then releasing what you've taken hold of. Fingertips drift toward the floor. On your inhale, press through the feet. Begin to roll yourself up towards standing. And as you arrive tall, shrug your shoulders up and back and down. As you arrive in your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Again, if it feels good and if it feels safe for you, allow the eyes to close. Feel yourself standing here. Feeling any shifts in energy with just the few movements we've taken thus far. On your next inhale, your arms float out and up. Fingertips may touch. Maybe look up toward the ceiling. On your exhale, gentle bend in the knees as you fold forward into your Uttanasana. Your inhale lifts you up halfway, long spine. On your exhale, step the left foot back, coming into a lunge on the right. You can always drop the back knee down to the mat if you choose. But feel space, feel energy from the back heel toward the top of the head. Ground down through the left fingertips on your inhale. Lift the right hand up toward the ceiling. Taking a few breaths here in this twist. On your exhale, lowering the right hand down. Palms ground on the mat. Light engagement in the low belly. Step the front foot to meet the back, coming into a plank shape pose. Your inhale shifts you forward slightly. Your exhale lowers the knees, lowers the chest, lowers the chin, coming through Ashta Pranam for this first Vinyasa flow here. Your inhale scoops you forward into your baby cobra. Tops of the feet press firmly into the mat. Your exhale presses you back through tabletop, tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Your next inhale lifts the left leg up. Use the strength of the front body to bring the knee toward the nose, step the foot between the hands, coming into a lunge on the left. We'll lower the back knee to the mat here. Adjust the feet as you need so you feel stable. On your inhale, bring the hands up toward the front knee, press yourself tall. Keeping that length, inhale, arms alongside the ears, coming into your low crescent lunge. Feel your inner thighs hug in toward one another. On your exhale, draw the navel in toward the spine as you extend the front leg, hands sweep back toward the wall behind you. Maybe you come up onto the left heel. Wait for your inhale. Dig the left heel into the mat to draw you back into your lunge. Your exhale shifts you back. Left knee extends, maybe the toes lift. Long spine here, your inhale draws you back into your lunge. Once more, exhale, hands sweep back, left knee extends. Long spine, chest toward the front knee. Inhale, use the strength of that left hamstring to draw you back into your lunge. Take one more breath here, feeling yourself rise up tall. Shoulder blades slide down, exhale, hands float down to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, stepping forward in your halfway forward fold. Keep that length in the spine as you exhale to fold. Inhale lifts you out and up. Fingertips reach up toward the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart, release to the sides, Tadasana. Inhale, arms sweep out and up. Exhale, bend in the knees as you hinge forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step the right foot back, coming into a lunge on the left. Breathing here, filling out your lunge, feeling length from the top of the head toward the right heel. Your back knee can always lower down. Fingertips, inhale, left fingertips spin up toward the ceiling. Feeling the right ribs hug into the inside of the left thigh. And breathe here. On your next exhale, left hand comes down to frame the foot. If you've lowered the back knee, tuck the toes to lift. Strong through the belly here. Step the front foot to meet the back, coming into your plank shape pose. Once more, we'll inhale, shoulders slightly ahead of the wrists. Exhale, lower the knees, lower the chest, lower the chin through Ashta Pranam. Your inhale scoops you forward into your baby cobra. Feel the shoulder blades slide down and toward one another in the back body. On your exhale, press back through tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Your next inhale lifts the right leg long as the toes point down. Feel that action coming from the hip. Your exhale brings the knee toward the nose, stepping the foot between the hands. We'll all release the back knee here, untucking the toes. You can keep them tucked for a bit more stability, and we'll inhale the palms up toward the right knee. Press into the front thigh to find length in the spine. And then inhale the arms up alongside the ears, coming into a low crescent lunge. Feel space open up around the heart by activating the muscles around the shoulder blades. Feel the inner thighs hug in toward one another. On your next exhale, hands sweep back toward the wall behind you as you extend the front knee. Chest lowers toward the front knee. Maybe you flex the ankle, maybe you fall over a little bit. And on your inhale, scoop forward, back into your lunge. We'll move through this twice more. Exhale, extend the front knee, hips shift back. Inhale, drawing yourself forward. Good. And once more, exhale, extend the front knee. Fingertips reach back. Inhale, coming forward. Feel the low back long, feel the heart lift, feel the gaze lift. And on your exhale, hands float down to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Left foot steps forward to meet the right, meeting in your Ardha Uttanasana. Your exhale folds you forward. Your inhale floats the arms out and up. And your exhale brings the hands to the heart and pause. Moving through Surya Namaskara A here, inhale, arms out and up. Your exhale folds you forward. Inhale lifts you up halfway, long spine. Exhale, hands bring the feet, step back into your plank pose. Option here to move through chaturanga, knees up or down. Your inhale moves the shoulders slightly ahead of the wrists. Your exhale lowers the shoulders, no lower than the elbows. Stay here for the duration of the exhale. Your inhale scoops you forward into your upward facing dog. Your exhale floats the hips up and back. Maybe you roll over the toes last into your downward facing dog. Inhale to rise to the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. Inhale, step up. Walk, feet land between the hands. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart and pause. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Feel your feet draw apart from one another. Feel that action. Fire up the muscles on the outside of the hips. Feel your hands on the hips. Scoop your tailbone under, lifting the hip points toward the bottom ribs here. So you'll feel this space closing up between low ribs and hip points. Keep this activation in your core as you inhale to bend the knees, sink the hips, arms alongside the ears, Utkatasana. And breathe here. Begin to feel a lightness in the left foot. Maybe you begin to lift up onto the left toes. Maybe you stay here with your left big toe on the ground. Maybe you begin to lift the left heel in toward the left sit bone. Whichever option you've chosen, maybe one step or many, step the left foot back, coming into a crescent lunge. So high crescent here. Back leg active. Strong arms. Shoulders slide down, fingers reach up. We're going to find a little bit of activation here in our calf muscles. And so drawing your awareness to your left ankle. Beginning to roll yourself forward onto the ball of the foot. You'll feel a little bit of a stretch in the big toe, and then inhale, just shift yourself back. Twice more, exhale, shift yourself forward. Inhale to draw back. Once more, inhale, you'll feel a slight firing up of your calf muscles. Keep yourself rolled forward on the left toes. Begin to lift the heel of the right foot. Feel the inner thighs draw in toward one another. Hands on the hips for stability as you pivot over toward the long left side of your mat. So legs are wide here. Shimmy your feet so that your toes are parallel. Inhale, feel your spine grow long. Keep this length as you exhale to hinge forward. Lowering the hands to the floor, or a block if you have one. As we did earlier before cat-cow, feel that sense of the heels drawing toward the toes. Feel that fires up the low belly. Keep this length in the spine. Begin to bring the left palm beneath the sternum. On your inhale, bring your right hand to your left ribs. Feel yourself begin to twist over toward the right. Feel that coming from the thoracic spine, and then float the right fingertips up toward the ceiling, coming into a twist here. On your next inhale, lowering the right hand back down to the mat, keeping your spine long. Your next exhale, if you choose, maybe you begin to bring the hands back. So heels of the hands come toward heels of the feet. Feel the outer edges of your feet pressing into the mat. Feel your arches lift. Feel your feet drawing apart from one another and feel how that activates the outer hips. Let your head go heavy. Maybe you gently shake the head from side to side, just allowing any tension to spill out onto the mat. If the hands have traveled back on your next inhale, begin to bring them forward, back beneath the shoulders. Belly strong, spine long. Inhale, hands to the hips. Exhale, float you all the way up to standing. Spinning your left toes toward the left top edge of your mat. On your inhale, drawing yourself into your warrior two. Feel again that action of the outer right hip or the outer right foot pressing into the mat. Bringing that awareness to the low belly on your next inhale. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot, bringing the arms alongside the ears, coming into your crescent. Maybe you heel toe that left foot out a little bit wider. Finding a gazing point, something that's not moving. Bring your awareness just below your navel, toward where your center of balance is. Maybe one step, maybe many. We'll bring the right foot forward, bringing the knee toward the chest. You choose. We're shifting into our tree pose. So as you bring the right knee out toward the side, maybe the sole of the foot comes toward the inside of the ankle with the toes resting like a kickstand. Maybe the inside of the calf. Maybe you give the foot a boost and bring it to the inside of the right thigh. Your fingers can stay reaching up toward the ceiling, palms can touch at the heart. If you're feeling very steady, you can play with closing the eyes for balance. On your next inhale, bring the right knee forward, really activating through the front of the hip. Feeling the low belly active, driving the knee toward the chest. And then on your exhale, lowering the right foot to the mat. Hands lower to the sides. Give yourself a little shake side to side. And reset. On your next inhale, again, feel the feet drawing away from one another. Inhale, bend the knees, hips float back. Coming into your Utkatasana, your chair pose. Ground down through that left foot. Begin to find a lightness in the right foot. Maybe you lift up onto the right toes. Maybe you bend the knee, lifting the right heel toward the right sit bone. Strong through the belly, one step or many. Begin to step that right foot back, coming into your crescent. We're going to begin to find that activation in the right calf here. And so just begin to inhale, rocking yourself forward onto the ball of the foot. Exhale, guiding yourself back. Inhale, gently press yourself forward. Exhaling your rock back. Inhale, roll forward. Exhaling back. Once more, we'll inhale forward. Inhale, lifting the left heel. Hands to the hips. Pivoting over once again toward the long left side of your mat. Or I guess now it's the long right side of your mat. Ground down to the outer edge of the feet. Feel your arches lift. Feel your hands press the hips down as you inhale yourself tall. Keep that length as you exhale. Hinge at the hips to fold forward. Hands lower to the floor or maybe blocks beneath the shoulders. And then begin to shimmy that right palm beneath the sternum. Left hand floats to the right ribs. Inhale, use the hand to draw the right ribs around, really finding that twist in the upper part of the spine, the upper back. And then float those left fingertips up toward the ceiling. Legs are active here. Your next exhale lowers the left hand to the mat. Keep this length in the spine. You can stay here or you can exhale, beginning to walk the hands back, heels of the hands toward heels of the feet, letting the head hang heavy. If you've traveled back on your next inhale, walking the hands forward beneath the shoulders. Keeping this length in the spine as you inhale, bringing the hands toward the hips. Exhale, rising all the way up. Feel the outer edge of the left foot still pressing into the mat. Feel that activation in the left hips and the right toes toward the top of the mat. On your inhale, glide back into your warrior two. Feel your chest open, your hips open. Feel that left leg stay active. If you feel like all of the pressure has shifted into that right leg, come back to two straight legs. Feel the outer edge of that left foot press into the mat until you feel a firing up here, and then keep that activation as you slowly glide back into your warrior. Navel in toward belly. Feel yourself strong. Inhale, pivot onto the left ball of the foot. Arms alongside the ears, coming into your crescent. Feel yourself so tall. Shoulder blades slide down. Finding a gazing point, something that's not moving. Envisioning your center of balance, about 2 finger widths below the navel. And then on your exhale, one step or many with the hands to the hips brings the left knee toward the chest. Inhaling the left knee out toward the side. You choose for your tree pose whether the ball of the foot is on the mat, whether your foot's on the inside of the calf, or maybe you help it to the inside of the thigh. Finding whatever variation of the hands feels inviting for you. Balance might be different on this side. Don't hesitate to use the wall. And breathe here. The inside of your thigh, your right thigh, is pressing into the sole of the foot as much as your foot is pressing into the thigh or the calf. Standing leg active. On your next inhale, bring the left knee in toward the chest and pause for a moment here. And then exhale, lowering the left foot to the floor, hands to the sides, Tadasana. Deep breath in, full breath out. Inhale, arms out and up, fingertips lift. On your exhale, fold forward. Inhale to lift up halfway, long spine. Exhale, hands bring the feet, step back. You choose. Flow through the vinyasa of your choice. You could do chaturanga, knees up or down, Mahashakranam, baby cobra, upward dog, or skip everything entirely and go directly to downward facing dog, your choice. And more choices abound, so you choose. If you want to reset here for a few breaths in child pose or in downward facing dog, please do. But absolutely, if you'd like to take a child's pose, please do. Or if you'd like to come along for a little bit of core activation, which if you're familiar with this class, you know I love so much. It's so functional and so important. I'll invite you to inhale, coming forward into your plank shape pose. Now you choose. You can stay here, breathing in this plank shape. Or you could play with a little bit of activation here. Maybe you bring the hands in a little bit closer, just underneath the shoulders, maybe a tiny bit narrower. And maybe you lift the right hand to lift and tap the left shoulder, or shoulder. And maybe you tap the right shoulder. And maybe you lift the right toes. And maybe you lift the left toes. And then maybe you reverse that. Maybe you lift the left toes and lower down. And maybe lift the right toes and lower down. Maybe left hand lifts to tap the right shoulder. Maybe right hand lifts to tap the left shoulder. And you're trying your best not to move, to keep everything still, but it's a work in progress, right? And then if you've chosen this adventure, exhale, shifting back into your downward facing dog. And breathe here. Deep breath in. Full breath out. On your inhale, lift the right leg long. Exhale with strength. Bring the knee toward the nose and step the foot between the hands. Really press through the sole of that right foot. Your inhale lifts you up into your crescent lunge. Your exhale floats the hands to the hips and extends the front knee. Feel the strength of the front of the thigh, bringing space into the back of the thigh. And on your inhale, glide back into your lunge. On your next inhale, arms float alongside the ears once again. Finding again that gazing point, something that's not moving. Preferably on the floor, maybe 3 or 4 feet in front of you. Maybe one step to get there, maybe several. On your next exhale, tipping forward into your Virabhadrasana 3. That lifted leg is strong. The toes are pointing down. This action is coming from the hip. So really feeling what it feels like to turn those toes out toward the side and then dialing them back down toward the floor. You can stay here or bringing the palms to touch at the heart. On your exhale, rounding through the spine, tapping the elbows toward the knee, and inhaling long. Option to take this twice more. Exhale, palms come to touch, curling elbows toward knee, and inhaling long. And once more, exhale, tap elbows toward knee. Inhaling long. Slowly with control, tip yourself back into your crescent lunge. Feel yourself tall. On your exhale, hands float down to frame the front foot. Step back. Flow through a vinyasa, only if you'd like. Otherwise, scoot back to downward facing dog. We'll all meet up there. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Your next inhale lifts the left leg long. Your exhale brings the knee toward the nose and steps the foot between the hands. Inhale up into your crescent. Feel yourself strong. Exhale, extending the front knee. Breathing some space into the back of the thigh. That back leg stays strong. Your next inhale brings you back into your crescent lunge. Floating the hands to the heart for a moment here. Or no, I think we kept the arms on. Taking whatever variation with your arms helps you feel stable. Maybe one step, maybe many. On your next inhale, tipping forward into your Virabhadrasana 3, feeling free to use whatever furniture is nearby to stabilize yourself. And then if that was informative on the other side, playing with that rotation of the hips, so turning the toes out to the side, feeling where that action's coming from, and then really turning the femur inward in the hip socket. You can stay here. You can bring the palms to touch at the heart. And you can exhale, curling the knees toward the elbows. Exhale, knee toward elbows. Inhaling long. And once more, exhale, knee toward elbows. Inhaling long. Finding stability here. And then exhale, tipping back into your crescent lunge. Feel yourself tall. Exhale, hands float down and frame it. Step back. Flow if you choose. We'll meet up in downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Inhale to rise to the balls of the feet. Exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands. Inhale, step back, walk. Feet land between the hands. Spine is long. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, arms float out and up. Fingertips meet. Gaze lifts. Exhale. Thumbs rest at the heart and pause. So now let's put it all together. Feel the feet draw away from one another, that isometric contraction, activating your hip abductor muscles. Feel the front body engage, so the hip points tip toward the low ribs. Keep that activation here. As you inhale, float the hips back. Ground that right foot into the floor. Feel that hip steering so that it's even with the knee. Begin to inhale, rise up onto the left toes. And then option here, if you'd like, you can exhale, extending the left knee, active through that left foot. Notice that that right hip is swung out to the side. If so, guide it back toward your midline. Beautiful. And then bringing that left heel in toward the left sit bone. Slowly with control on your exhale, tipping back into your crescent lunge. Beautiful. We'll inhale, rocking forward onto the ball of the back foot. Exhale, stretching up the ankle. Inhale, activate the calf muscle to shift you forward. Exhale, shifting back. Once more, inhale, shifting yourself forward. Inhale, lifting up onto the ball of the back foot. And then hands float to the hips as you pivot, maybe gracefully, maybe not. So the toes are facing the long left edge of your mat. Adjust as you need so the toes are on the same line. Feel as though you could tear them out apart. Inhale yourself long. Options here. You can release the hands toward the mat or blocks as we did before, or you can interlace fingers behind the low back. Pressing the knuckles down toward the floor. Feel the shoulder blades hug toward one another, breathing space around the heart. And then exhale. Keep that activation on the outside of the hips as you hinge forward. Pressing the knuckles up toward the ceiling if it feels good, and if you can keep the palms connected. If the hands have released to the mat, walking them forward so they're beneath the shoulders and coming up in 2 breaths as we did before. If the hands are touching, inhale, press the knuckles toward the ceiling, lifting you all the way up to standing. Hands to the hips. Turn the left toes toward the left top edge of your mat. Feel that back leg active. So press into the outer edge of the right foot. Feel that outer hip engage. Inhale, glide into your warrior 2. Strong through the belly, strong through the inner thighs. On your next inhale, pivot onto the back of the foot, shifting into your crescent. Find your gazing point here. On your next inhale, stepping the right knee or the right foot forward so the knee comes toward the chest. Opening the right knee out toward the side, finding your tree. Your next inhale brings the right knee forward. Feel the hip points and low belly or low ribs activate toward one another. And then strong through that standing leg, strong through the floating leg. On your next inhale, hands to the hips as you begin to tip forward. Press that right foot back behind you, shifting into your warrior 3. When you choose, you can stay here, or you can reach for the wall across from you. And on your exhale, bring the palms to touch as you curl the elbows in toward the knee. And inhale yourself long. Option to explore that twice more. Exhale, curl elbows toward knee. Inhale long. And once more, exhale. Inhale long. Slowly with control, tipping back into your crescent. Hands float down to the hips. On your next inhale, step right foot next to left. Arms float alongside the ears, back in your Utkatasana. Your exhale presses through the feet, hands down to the sides. Tadasana. Regroup here. Inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips. Utkatasana. When you choose, inhale, beginning to rise up onto the ball of the right foot. You can stay here, or you can exhale, extending the right knee, toes flexed. guiding that left hip in line with the knee. And then beginning to bend the right knee, right heel toward the right sit bone. And slowly with control, stepping back into your crescent lunge. Notice that the shoulders are tensing up around the ears, guiding them back down. Exhale, rocking forward on the ball of the back foot. Inhale, settling back. Exhale to rock forward. Inhale to step back. Once more, exhale to rock forward. Rise up onto the ball of the left foot. Hands to the hips. Ever so gracefully, pivot over toward the long edge of your mat and adjust as you need so the feet are parallel and the toes are in line. Then you choose hands to the floor or hands behind the low back. Choose what feels best for you. If you choose hands behind the low back, press the palms into one another. Press the knuckles down toward the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge at the hips. Your spine stays long. Legs are active. And if you lift the knuckles up toward the ceiling, keep the palms pressing. Keep the shoulder blades drawing toward one another. And keep them drawing down the back. Your next inhale lifts you all the way up. Hands to the hips. Right toes turn toward the top edge of your mat. Feel that back leg active. Feel the outside of the hip active as you press the outer edge of the foot in toward the mat. And then inhale, gliding back into your warrior two. Your inhale spins you onto the ball of the back foot as the arms come alongside the ears into your crescent. Find that gazing point. Hands float to the hips. Your next inhale brings the left knee toward the chest. Left knee opens out toward the side. And you choose where you'd like your foot to be for your retreat. Hands can meet at the heart. Hands can float up toward the ceiling. If you choose to have the fingers reach up, continue to actively draw the shoulder blades down the back body. And keeping that awareness of the core, drawing the navel in toward the spine, gives so much stability to balance poses. Your next inhale brings the left knee back in toward the chest. So strong through that standing leg. So strong through the floating leg, flex the ankle on your next exhale, beginning to tip yourself forward into your warrior three. Toes dialed down, coming from the hip. And you choose. Stay here, working this balance. Fingertips on the floor if this is challenging. Or bring the palms to touch. Exhale, curling the right knee and the elbows toward one another. And then inhaling to feel everything reach long. Option to explore this. Curl elbows toward knee. Inhaling long. Exhale, elbows toward knee. Inhaling long. Pause here, so strong. And then inhale, tipping back into your crescent lunge. On your next exhale, hands float down toward the hips. Feel your right foot in the mat. Strong through the belly, inhale, step the left foot to meet the right, arms alongside the ears, Utkatasana once again. And then slowly, slowly, slowly with control, beginning to lower yourself down to the mat until you come to sit. Bringing yourself into a Navasana, so choosing where feels good for you. Starting with hands behind the knees, drawing the chest toward the knees. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you begin to reach the fingertips toward the feet. This is probably where I'll stay, but if you choose, you could inhale, extend the knees. You could extend the arms alongside the ears. And stay here for a few breaths, keeping the chest open, keeping that openness by drawing the shoulder blades toward one another in the upper back. And then on your next exhale, slowly with control, lowering the feet to the mat, bringing the arms to wrap around the shins, and just curling into yourself. Forehead can rest on the knees. Letting your breath begin to settle down. On your next inhale, unwind yourself. Then just lower yourself onto the mat with the knees bent and the feet flat. And I hope I haven't just vanished out of sight, but I'm pretty sure you know. Arms long alongside the body. So we're setting up here for your bridge shape. If you have a block at home and you're ready for something more restorative, you're welcome to have it nearby. Feel your feet firm on the mat, hips width distance apart. Feel the knees draw in toward one another. On your inhale, press through the feet, lift the hips up toward the ceiling. And you can play with arm options here, whatever feels good for you. Wiggling the arms underneath the back body, pressing knuckles toward the heels, or maybe elbows bend, pressing the triceps into the mat. You can slide that block underneath the sacrum if you choose on the low or medium height for a restorative bridge. You can stay here, or keeping an eye on your pelvis, noticing how the hips are level here. On your exhale, maybe you extend one leg long. Notice if that right hip, or that lifted leg, the hip attached to the lifted leg dips down. Lowering that foot. Inhale, extend the opposite leg, noticing if that hip dips down. Firing up a little bit more in the belly, in the opposite glute. Inhale. Option to explore that twice more on each side if it feels interesting. And then as you're ready, gently lowering yourself onto your mat. Sliding that block out from underneath if you came into the restorative bridge. And just feeling the breath begin to lengthen and deepen. Feeling yourself begin to settle. Tiny press through the feet shifts the hips a little bit over to the right. Extend your arms long to a T or a cactus shape. And on your exhale, allowing both of your knees to drift over to the left. You can look over whichever shoulder you choose or up toward the ceiling. A bit more twist. You can always hook the left ankle over the right thigh. If you have a lot of space between knee and knee, knee and floor, you're free to slide a blanket, a close by pet, a pillow to fill that space. And just notice where you might be holding on. And invite a sense of softness as we begin to unwind after building up and burning off all of that heat. Your next inhale brings the knees up toward the ceiling. Tiny press shifts the hips over toward the left. And then allow the knees to drift over toward the right side. And breathe here. Right ankle can cross over left thigh if that would feel good. Find whichever turn of the head would feel best for you. Notice anywhere you might be holding on in the hips, in the legs, in the jaw, in the brow. Guide your breath there. Your next inhale brings you back up through the center. Bring the knees in toward the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. Chin can come toward the chest as well. Maybe find a few gentle rocks here and allow the momentum of that rock to bring you up towards sitting. So we're going to get into the hips a little bit here. Bringing the soles of the feet together, knees drop out toward the sides. You can bring your hands toward the inner thighs and encourage a sense of that outward rotation, that external rotation, to find a little bit more space in the inner thighs. You can bring your forearms toward the insides of the knees for a gentle press, certainly not causing any pain or strain to the hips or the knees. And use that press of the wrists, the forearms, the hands, and the legs to inhale more length into the spine and keep that length there. You can stay here. You may feel enough openness in the hips right here. Maybe you begin to walk the hands forward, keeping that spine long. So I'm just imagining that each walk forward of the hands is just drawing a little bit more length into the low back, into the sides of the body, underneath the arms, underneath the shoulders. If it feels good, you can just relax the head toward the floor. And breathe here. Guiding the breath into the upper back. Just inviting space to the area we've brought so much activation into. And on your next inhale, begin to walk yourself back up tall if you've come forward. Extending both legs long. Flexing the ankles. Bringing the left sole of the foot to the floor and then allowing the knee to drop out toward the side. Fingertips frame your right thigh. Inhale yourself tall. Your exhale begins to walk you forward, lowering the chest toward the thigh. Take hold of whatever's available without forcing anything. Try to keep that ankle active. Use the connection of the hands with whatever you've taken hold of to draw yourself longer in the back as you lower your chest towards your thigh. On your next inhale, begin to walk yourself up tall. Extend the left leg long. Just give the legs a little bit of a shake. And then bringing the right sole of the foot to the mat, allowing the knee to drop out toward the side, creating that same energy, that same energetic connection that you had in your tree pose. Inhale yourself up tall. And on your exhale, begin to walk yourself forward. Noticing any differences from one side to the other. Taking hold of what's available. And breathing here. Next inhale, beginning to walk yourself back up tall. Bending both knees, bringing both soles of the feet to the mat. Feet a little bit wider than hips with distance apart, and just allowing the shins to rock from side to side like windshield wipers on a car. And then beginning to bring yourself long onto your mat to set up for Shavasana. And so you can take whatever's available to you to make yourself comfortable. A rolled up blanket behind the knees or a folded up blanket over the hips might feel really good. Just extend yourself long, allow yourself to settle. If any final movements would feel good, I invite you to take them. And then taking one last full deep inhale, sending this breath all the way down into the shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingertips, hips, knees, ankles, toes. And then your exhale, just allowing everything to flow out and leaving your body to rest. You can lie here for as long as you like. And staying here certainly for as long as you choose, but when you're ready to come out, gently turning yourself onto one side. And slowly pressing yourself up. Trying to keep the eyes closed as you do so. Just taking a moment in stillness before facing whatever comes next. To thank yourself for making the time to come to your mat. And thanking your body for everything amazing that it's capable of doing. And just sharing a moment of gratitude for this practice. Knowing how, now more than ever, in times of great uncertainty, its power is so relevant, so potent, helping us stay connected to ourselves, enabling us to care for ourselves, so that we can better care for one another in a time where it's more evident than ever before that our well-being is so deeply tied to the well-being of our community. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me, and I hope to see you in person soon.